and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 6-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 6-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only.
Live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night, March 27th, 8 p.m. On the East Coast, me and Delgado flying duo tonight. Slick's off, Paul's off, Vinny's off. Delgado has reported for duty.
Yes.
I am here.
I was going to mess with you, too. I was going to text you, like, from the parking lot and say, dude, I got a problem. But I didn't do that.
Don't get me excited like that.
Hey.
So here we are, the two of us. Slick's off. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. How are you?
Good times, Dave. Good times.
Oh, not really, but how are you?
I'm good.
How was your day?
My day was productive. You know, when you have to get up at 4 a.m. and you gotta make sure you got things lined up and bang them out, and that's what I was doing all day. I feel good.
Well, my wife gets up at 4 a.m, goes to the gym, teaches these kids all day, comes home, then she deals with another special kid, me, and then our 2 kids, and then makes dinner, and she goes right till she goes to bed. So what's the problem?
Well, then she knows what I'm dealing with. That you got to be regimented. You got to be like, all right, here's where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. I got enough time for you, Damon. You're out the door. Go. She kicks you out.
You find time for a nap.
Well, yeah, I got to get a
She
nap.
does not. She does not. So she's just a little stronger than you.
Could be.
Yeah, just could be. Yes. So, it's going to be a busy night. President Trump's going to speak.
Is he? Where is it?
We have a live shot of the White House. Oh, look at that. There it is. Live shot of the White House. What's this thing called, Fran, that he's speaking at? The breaking of Ramadan or something?
Yeah, it's the White House Iftar dinner.
Iftar dinner tonight. President Trump's going to speak, and we're going to bring it to you live when he does, as soon as we get a shot inside the dining hall or inside wherever they're holding this in there.
That sounds young.
We'll bring you live coverage of it and the president's speech in its entirety, as long as we can get it in its entirety. But right now, that's the only shot we got, which is of the beautiful White House there in Washington, D.C. And as soon as we get something else, we'll bring it to you. President Trump to speak tonight. Interesting. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to speak about. I'm assuming whatever the event is, but it'll be just as the Asian markets are opening. He's going to talk about tariffs and whatever else. We'll be interesting to see how the markets react live to that as he speaks tonight. So we'll bring you that. And then we'll get into the news of the day. And there's some news of the day. I felt like today was maybe... well, we started to say this last night. One of the news things that caught my attention wasn't really anything to deal with what we've been talking about, which obviously is Signalgate and all this.
Right.
We didn't talk about the fact that Judge Boasberg is the judge also in Boasberg, or whatever the hell his name is. Who cares? He's also the judge now that's got to sign this case. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
Why is this even a case?
Just coincidence. Just a coincidence.
Hello. Anyone? Why is this even a case? What kind of case do they think they have here?
Well, not only a case, but they had it ready to go in about 4 seconds' notice, which is
really odd.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how you prepare that much stuff with literally zero notice. It's almost like they knew it was coming or something.
Right.
I don't know.
It's almost like they
strange.
They know somebody on the left.
Yeah, it's just
who could be in charge over at Signal, who was testifying yesterday, who also happens to run NPR. Maybe she had something to do. I don't know. And then
this judge is the only judge working.
Yeah.
Is he the only judge that does anything in D.C.? Is that basically it? It's all the cases?
Anything that has to do with Donald Trump.
Or he only gets the cases where the last name starts with a T and ends in a P.
Right.
It's very condensed schedule that he keeps. Okay, anything that starts with a T has RU. It goes to him. Because this guy ends up with everything, seemingly.
Right.
But it's just a coincidence, don't you worry.
Yeah, the lawsuit is filed by American Oversight. Never heard of it?
Yes, of course. Great name.
And alleges that Trump's official use of Signal violated federal records laws.
Oh, yes.
Hey, wait, wasn't the Biden administration, weren't they the ones who actually started this whole thing of using Signal?
Another Democrat front group who all of a sudden has an interest in these things
wow.
Boy, I heard the Democrats out there today. Boy, you listen to them. They're interested in the Espionage Act now. They've got that into their vocabulary. They have the Federal Records Act into their vocabulary. They've got it all in their vocabulary. But, man, when it was Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden on the other side of it, huh?
Yeah.
What?
And they are just, the knives are out. And, I said it last night. I said it the first night. Why are they going after Pete Hegseth? He was included in the call. He wasn't the one who put the call together. But we know why. Because they don't want him looking into or doging the Pentagon, Department of Defense. Because they know that's their money tree. That's their piggy bank. We cannot have this happen, and they have to do everything in their power to try to take him out. From the little Mexican guy asking if he was drunk the other day to now this. They are just knives out. Meanwhile, if you recall, a couple of years ago, over in this place called Afghanistan that most people can't find on a map anyway, we lost 13 service members, had a bunch of them also injured for life, and many others injured around there as well. And the guy who ran that outfit over there, nobody asked for him to resign, did they?
The guy who went missing, you mean?
Right. Yeah. He ended up in the hospital. Nobody knew where he was and who was running the military. Nobody asked him to resign in disgrace for that disgusting withdrawal, did they? No, they called it a success.
Yeah.
13 service members died. And the fact that they had the guy in their sights and could have taken him out before he had a chance to detonate this bomb, nobody pays the price for that. But that's okay. You know what? You can even, if you want to go someplace else. Hey, let's talk about those four guys that died over in where'd Gaddafi used to run? Libya. That's right. Nobody asked for Hillary Clinton to resign over Libya, did they? When the ambassador and 3 others went down. No, nobody stepped aside.
Well, your point about Hegseth is the point, right? They see him as as obviously a real problem because. I mean, the president, by the way, was on this the other day in the Oval Office. He was like, what are you asking me about Pete Hegseth? How are you bringing Hegseth into this for?
Exactly.
He said, Walz has been the one who's already claimed responsibility. Now, we find out last night, I don't know if we talked about it in the breaks. I don't know if we actually officially ever said it on this show during the real segments. Walz's Venmo contacts were public, too.
Yes. Yep.
that he forgot to make private. And I guess there's a whole bunch of leftist media people in there, too, that people scouted out, I guess.
Yeah. And they have pictures of him together with this guy and other leftist media people.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they're not calling for Mike Walz to step down, because he's their guy. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. So...
Well, what I do know is besides Signalgate, which, by the way, has gotten more coverage and more press interest than both of President Trump's assassination attempts. Let's just leave it. Let's just say that. That's a fact. The other thing we talked about last night is the Republicans and that article that was at The Hill. And we've talked about some of the endorsements lately coming out of the White House, just horrifically bad. Couple others today, horrifically bad. Lindsey Graham, unspeakably bad. Cindy Hyde West, whatever the hell her name is, this morning, that one came out terrible. Randy Fine in Florida, terrible. Now we're pulling, what's her name, back out of the UN because they're clearly afraid that he's going to lose. I actually don't think he will lose, but he's not going to win. He's not going to win like any other true real conservative candidate there, following in the footsteps of the governor and the president running in that district would have won by. Fine and the other clown Perez down there, what they've tried to do. I mean, has anyone been paying attention? They wanted to give they wanted to give immigration over to the Secretary of Agriculture. I mean, we covered that whole story for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the nominee who gets endorsed, and now they're afraid he's going to lose. I actually don't think he will lose. Maybe he wins it by 5 or 10 points, which for that district, Trump won it by like 40. DeSantis won it by like 40.
Right.
But the point being, the Republicans, and listen, we've said this on this show till you're probably until I'm blue in the face, till we're blue in the face. We have a candidate problem. If we don't start endorsing the proper candidates, the real conservatives, eventually we'll be rid of Mitch McConnell someday, where he can stop sticking his mush into these races. But we've got to get better endorsements of these candidates. Somebody has got, let Stephen Miller do it, or somebody. But these endorsements are horrific. We keep ending up with Lindsey Graham types and Roger Wicker types and Cynthia Hyde West types, or whatever her name is, and Roger Marshall types. And if you didn't see Roger Marshall today, again, just another loser show from a Republican on one of these committees. This is an unexplainable 4 minutes. And they're sitting at this hearing, and it's on, what's the name of this? It was a hearing basically on Qatar and the Help Anti-Semitism hearing. And Roger Marshall gets his 5 minutes, and he's talking to this expert guest who's there, who I don't really know, but seemed like a pretty smart guy. Here's a little bit of what Senator Marshall's feelings were on Qatar in this hearing today.
I want to go to Dr. Small first. Dr. Small, what was Qatar's role in the hostage release of Americans?
It's a good question. I'm not an expert at that level, but I know that the Qataris certainly were funding Hamas. They have very good relations.
Okay, that's not my question.
Now just stop it right there. I know you've got 5 minutes, but you're a Republican supposedly asking questions of an expert dealing in this. Why would you possibly cut him off like that? And you can see already where it's going, unless you're here simping for Qatar, which he clearly is.
Right.
But I know that the Qataris certainly were funding Hamas. They have very good relations.
Okay, that's not my question. I'll answer the question for you. Sure. So the Qataris were vastly responsible for the freeing of American hostages and many others. Dr. Small, what was Qatar's role in the evacuation of Afghanistan, and especially how did it impact America?
The Qatari regime has good relations with the Taliban, with the Iranian Revolutionary Regime. And
It's interesting,
Hamas.
just the prejudice that I hear coming out of your mouth here, that Qatar was so important. Of the 120,000 people evacuated from Afghanistan in our moment of need, Qatar stood beside us, and of the 120,000 removed, 60,000 of them came through Qatar. Without Qatar, we would have had thousands more deaths as well. So I don't know why you won't answer that question. I want to think about just a little bit more objective here. I'm going to say this century, in the past decade or so, Qatar has given about $5 billion to the educational institutions of America. And
Out of the goodness of their heart, don't you know?
Who is this guy? What's his name again?
Dr. Roger Marshall. I think when he was delivering babies, he hit his head on the lights thing above like too many times or something. More on this disaster today when we get back, and we're waiting for the president.
Roger Marshall, what a
clown.
what a dope, and he's one of ours.
Total clown show.
Oh my goodness.
This is what we have. This is what we have. What was what? What was the name of it? The Senate today, the Help and Anti-Semitism hearing.
Live in the chat. Howdy to the Rumblers, the Twixers, heading over to YouTube right now.
Hello, chat. What's going on? Connie Lou, I hear Damon sing every time I see you sign in. You hear me sing? I have never sung on chat.
Not yet.
Janice on Facebook, hello.
Howdy there, YouTubers.
Damon and Delgado, double D's tonight.
Ron and Norma Klein, I am laughing at this guy, the senator. Oh my God, he's woefully.
Wait till you hear. We haven't even gotten into it yet.
About Qatar.
Farmer Brook on Kick. What's going on?
And the fact
Farmer Brook over on Kick.
That the fact that the guy is saying, well, how are they instrumental? Well, they are funding Hamas, so they were able to. Basically, he was going to say because of their money, they were able to leverage that and say, hey, hey, Hamas, you guys got to chill out. You got to return these people because we're trying to keep these guys off our back. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait till you hear the rest. This is the standard. This is the standard Republican. This is what we're dealing with in this party.
He's the Republican senator, junior Republican senator.
Racing Banshee on Kick. Everybody's over to Kick because the Twitter feed sucks.
No, it doesn't.
The chat. People having problems with the chat. I'm having problems with it too on my phone. Stinks.
Yeah, it's an iPhone thing.
I think it's an iPhone thing. Yeah.
I'm in it.
So go to Kick. I like it. Kick is great. I love Kick. I spend more time on Kick than anything else.
Gary Haas is there.
To enable chat, please enable channels. Did we just lose everything?
In the Twixers, the Pitchfork 22 is in there. Put on a suit. Put on a suit. Is in the Twix chat.
Delgado will beam Damon into the UFO now that they're alone. Yes.
I got a story.
Oh. Did you dig deep for this one too?
No, I did not. It just came to me.
I got something. I got to read this to you.
I remote viewed it.
I sent it to Slick with a big laughing emoji. Okay, so we'll just go live right to it if he comes out. If we want to. 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. We hear the president may be getting close. We have a live shot up at the White House right now. We hear the president might be just about ready to speak at this dinner tonight. We'll bring you coverage of his entire speech when he does. If it's too far, Aaron, we could just keep our feed, the one we have. If you want to put it up in the middle box so I can continue to monitor it, would be great. We don't have to play the rest of Clown Show Dr. Marshall.
Really? Because I was really
if we want to keep up the live feed from the president so we don't miss any of him. I'll leave that up to you. Okay. President Trump is starting now, so if we have it, let's we'll go to it and listen in. Here we go.
It is.
Take it full, Aaron. We'll be back when the president's done.
Thank you very much. Nice looking crowd. Hello, Lindsay. Nice to see you. And you'll like it. Good evening and welcome to this magnificent Iftar dinner, very special, as we honor the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. Let me begin by saying to our Muslim friends, of which I have many tonight, and I think we have many all over the world based on the results in Michigan, other places. But I just want to say hello to all of the people that supported us so strongly. Ramadan Mubarak. We're grateful to be joined by Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, thank you very much. Deputy Secretary of State, Chris Landau. Chris, thank you, Chris. Congratulations, by the way. Deputy Special Envoy, Morgan Ortagus. Morgan? Hi, Morgan. A very good friend of mine who I just endorsed, actually, Senator Lindsey Graham. Lindsey. Congressman Abe Hamadeh. Abe, thank you, Abe. Thank you, Abe. Good job. Counselor to the President, Alina Habba, and going to be the U.S. Attorney in New Jersey, very importantly. Great job. Pastor Paula White, my friend for a long time, and somebody that's done an incredible job with faith and all of the things that so many in this room stand for. Paula White, thank you, Paula. And a person that Paula would have a hard time not being with. I would say Jenny would be about impossible for you, right? But Jenny Korn is here, and she's been incredible, the Faith Office Director, and right out of the White House, right, Jenny? Hi, Jenny, how are you? And a great friend of mine, Mossad Boulos. Mossad, how are you? Thank you. I also want to extend a very special thanks to the hundreds of thousands of Muslim Americans who supported us in record numbers in the 2024 presidential election. It was incredible. We started a little slow with you, but we came along, and by the time that election was finished, we figured we went up like a rocket ship. So I just want to thank everybody very much for that. That was great. And in particular, I want to thank two great gentlemen, the mayor of Hamtramck, Michigan. Hamtramck, how are you, Mr. Mayor? And he's done a great job as mayor, and he's done a great job with his support of us. And Mr. Amr Galib, and thank you very much. You was such a tremendous endorsement right at the right time. Your timing was excellent. Thank you very much. And you'll be the next ambassador to Kuwait, and you're going to have a great time with Kuwait. Wonderful people, and it's a great place, so congratulations, really terrific. You're going to love them, and they're going to love you. And they're going to love you. Thank you very much. Congratulations to, as well as the mayor of Dearborn Heights, Mr. Bill Bazzi. Bill, good job, Bill. And Bill actually is going to be the next ambassador to Tunisia, and that's big stuff. Those guys, you're very upwardly mobile. You're doing very well. That's great. You're going to have a tremendous time, both great countries, and enjoy it. Every day we're keeping our promises to the Muslim community. My administration is engaged in relentless diplomacy to forge a lasting peace in the Middle East. building on the historic Abraham Accords, which everybody said would be impossible, and now we're going to start filling them out because, as you know, Biden did nothing to fill them out. He did absolutely. We had the 4 great countries, and nothing happened despite the importance of the Abraham Accords, but I have a feeling it's going to fill out very quickly. It's already, people are talking already about it. They should have had them long ago. It should have been done. We're rapidly defeating inflation by reducing energy costs and even slashing the price of eggs by 50%. Doesn't sound like much, believe me. You know, when I got here, I was in 1 week, and I was being hit by the fake news media. They were saying, egg prices have quadrupled. I said, I just got here. I didn't even know. I said, what's the problem with eggs? But the problem with eggs was Joe Biden. That was the problem. He let them get out of control. And as you probably saw last month, they went down 35%, and the quantity is so much that, I don't know, I think they're going to go down a lot further. We have a total of over 50% in a few weeks, Lindsay. I'd say that's pretty good. And nobody wants to talk about it. Now they don't want to talk about it. They talked about it when it went up under somebody else, but when it went down under me, they don't want to talk. So we have to talk ourselves. If they won't say it, we have to say it, right? I learned that a long time ago. We're fighting for parents' rights and school choice, and we're stopping schools from indoctrinating children with transgender ideology, something which the people of this room are not happy about. I know that for a fact. And it's a shame what's happened, but we're turning it around and turning it around at levels that nobody can even believe. I signed an order also, and I think very importantly also, in particular for people in this room, we're keeping men out of women's sports. Is that okay? Men out of women's sports. The Muslim community was there for us in November, and while I'm president, I will be there for you. I'm going to be there for you, and I think you know that, and our 2 great mayors understand that. I said that I would see you after, and I saw you after, and I think you're doing better than we are. You're doing better than anybody, so it's so great. I'm so glad you're here. But as we approach the end of Islamic holy month of Ramadan, we're also deeply honored to be joined by many of the international friends and partners, including the ambassador from Saudi Arabia to the United States, a very, very special woman, Princess Rima. Princess, thank you. Thank you, Princess. Great. Say hello to everybody. It's great to see you. Thanks as well to the ambassadors and chiefs of mission from the United Arab Emirates, from Jordan, Egypt, Kuwait, Qatar, Pakistan, Malaysia, Brunei, Bahrain, Iraq, Oman, Morocco, Indonesia, Algeria, Djibouti, Cameroon, Lebanon, Nigeria, Guinea, Tanzania, Kenya, the Maldives, Libya, Senegal, Bangladesh, and we have a few others. I'm sorry if I forgot, but I am going to be in big trouble if I did. But that's a pretty good group of people represented tonight. Wouldn't you say, Senator? I think so. And we're greatly honored by your presence this evening. I just really want to thank you all. It's a special group. I look forward to it. You know, we have long days, not like other people that had this position. I work long hours. And I said tonight, after making 3 calls for people running for office, they call them teletown halls, and they're not easy to do. And I said, well, now I go home and can relax. They said, no, you can't, sir. You're seeing your friends from lots of different places, and that's okay. As soon as I found out who they were, I said, all right, that's okay. But Ramadan is a season of spiritual reflection and self-restraint. Every day during the sacred 9th month of the Islamic calendar, Muslims fast from dawn to dusk, deepening their focus on prayer and devotion to God. So nice. Then Muslims all over the world join family and friends each night and sundown to give thanks to the Almighty and break their fast with an iftar dinner, just like this one. This is what we have tonight, right, Paula? I hope you like it. If you don't like it, don't complain, okay? You're still in the White House, right? We're all in the White House together, so how bad can that be? So tonight we gather with the goodwill and the gratitude for God's many blessings, and that's what it's all about. This tradition exemplifies the beautiful spirit of all 3 Abrahamic faiths, the spirit that inspires us to seek happiness and prosperity at home and peace for the entire world. We're all looking for peace for the entire world. When I was in Michigan, I met with so many leaders of faith, and I said, what about your attitude here, your attitude there? All of the attitudes and all of the things I heard, they said, sir, all we want is peace, right? Remember, Mr. Mayor? I said, but I understand you don't mind death. They said, no, sir, we want to live. We want to live, and we want to be happy, and we want to love everybody. And I actually, it was a very inspirational period of time for me. And I want to thank you also for introducing me to so many of your friends. It was absolutely incredible. Thank you very much. To our Muslim friends, I look forward to working with each of you to achieve a brighter and more hopeful future. And I think together we're going to do great. You're going to make strides like you've never made. You have somebody in the White House that loves you. Thank you all very much. And now we'll have a little dinner. Have a little dinner. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, there you go. President Trump at the Iftar dinner at the White House. And just juxtaposing that speech against what we started to play before we got into that speech, this moron Marshall, who, as President Trump sits there and talks about the Abraham Accords, we talked last night with Josh Hammer about Mike Huckabee and our relationship with Israel, and President Trump, obviously someone who understands who the enemies of this country are, where they are, who the allies of this country are, where they are, who the adversaries are, even if they're not maybe enemies, adversaries on a lesser scale, who they are, where they are. President Trump understands that more than anybody, and the team he's assembled understands that more than anybody. That's why someone like Roger Marshall would not be on that. And then this guy is on a, is he on any foreign relations committee? We need to find that out. He might be. This might have been this today. The guy doesn't even sound like he knows who our allies are as we continue on through this speech.
No. I'll look him up. Let me see what I can find on him. Again, he's the junior senator out of Kansas.
Come on, Kansas.
But he doesn't seem to know a lot of. Isn't it like your job to know like all this stuff walking in to a committee hearing like this and say, you know, I'm going to be asking questions. I should probably have my ducks in a row. I should probably bone up on my.
I know, but I think it's even worse than that. I don't think it's that he didn't bone up. I just think it's like, well, how warm are his connections or his ties with Qatar that he's got to be one of like Slick Rick's parrots on the guy's shoulder today out there. So let's get back to this. Because it's perfect as you see the president there talking about what he did in his first term, understanding the world we live in, understanding how to put people in these positions to deal with what's going on around the world, our relationships around the world, who our adversaries are, who our enemies are, who our friends are, and juxtapose that against this. Here's a little more from the hearing today.
I don't know why you won't answer that question. I want to think about just a little bit more objective here. I'm going to say this century, in the past decade or so, Qatar has given about $5 billion to the educational institutions of America. And a vast majority of that, probably 80%, is setting up universities in Qatar. Whether it's Texas A&M in engineering, Cornell in medicine, a vast amount of that money is research-oriented as well. Qatar's been a great ally to America, so I don't know why you're
okay.
Like I just said, the president with a clear vision of who our allies truly are, who our enemies are, who our adversaries are, and this is a sitting U.S. Senator Republican on, I believe, a Judiciary Committee or on some foreign relations or foreign intelligence committee. And this is what he's talking about.
Yeah, he serves on the, here are some of the committees he serves on. He serves on the Senate Agricultural Committee, Nutrition, Forestry, I guess Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry, I guess it's all one committee. He sits on the Committee for Finance and Budget.
Okay.
Health.
Yeah.
Sits on the Education Committee.
Okay.
Labor, and the Pension Committees.
Okay.
So
thank God he doesn't sit on the Foreign Relations Committee.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's on display here and why he's not sitting on that. I don't know, but let's get...
Here's another one. Sorry about that. Energy and Commerce. And there it is. Energy. I think that's probably the one that's got his tail feathers in a bit of a bunch, because Qatar is an oil-rich nation.
I mean, I just don't know how you get up there and you're parroting like Qatar's PR lines, making it sound like, whoa, what a bunch of swell guys here.
Right. Meanwhile,
they gave us money. They didn't have to do that.
Right. Meanwhile, wasn't it Qatar is where that quote unquote $6 billion of Iran money is supposedly sitting in a bank in Qatar?
Yeah.
And also, from what I understand,
back during the Biden times, yes.
From what I understand, the leaders of Hamas, they don't reside in the Gaza Strip. No. I don't think they do. I think there's a place that they actually hide out. Where is that place? Oh, Qatar.
Yes. Let's continue, because the good stuff's still to come.
Yeah.
You're attacking them. And then why don't you compare? So China's given over $3 billion, the Saudis $1.5 billion, UK $1 billion, Germany over $1 billion. So why aren't we attacking them as well?
Okay. I mean, there's no line of distinction in Roger Marshall's mind between those countries he just listed off? Germany and the UK?
Yeah.
As opposed to China and Qatar? We should be treating all of them the same?
Oof.
What am I listening to?
This is a guy that needs to get doged to find out where the money's coming from.
Who our enemies are.
And I want you to answer this question.
And by the way, he's accusing the guy of almost being Islamophobic. If you listen long enough.
2 universities, heavily funded by Qatar, were Carnegie Mellon and VCU. Were there any large anti-Semitic riots or protests there?
So look, this is a very important issue, and I would say...
So were there any anti-Semitic riots or protests in VCU or Carnegie Mellon? The answer is no. So the answer is no. So they were vastly funded, but yet there was no riots there. So I don't understand why you're picking on the Qataris here when other people are funding. Take Texas and Texas A&M. Texas A&M has a university presence in Qatar. University of Texas doesn't. So you would make the conclusion that Texas A&M was funded, but UT is where the riots were. UT had nothing to do with Qatari funding there. I don't know how causation doesn't, what's my saying here that Senator Cass uses all the time here?
You're an idiot. I think that's the saying you're looking for.
Not necessarily causation.
There you go. Association is not causation. So I don't know why we're here fueling the fire. Not all Muslims are anti-Semitic. Not all Muslims are anti-American. And here we have a Muslim country that has stood beside America for the most part, and they're not perfect. They're not perfect, but they help us get back hostages. They saved the day in Afghanistan. In so many ways, they've stood beside us.
David.
I think you're picking on them. I think you're coming to conclusions that are not well-founded. I think that's called discrimination. I think it's prejudiced as well.
You're an Islamophobia.
Mr. Chairman.
There you go.
May I respond, please? May I answer the
You
question?
want to get a word in as the expert here?
Well, I would just say that Qatar is a country with less than 350,000 citizens. They give more money to American universities than any country in the world. The greatest victims of political radical Islam are Muslims.
But you're missing the rest of the story, though. So
you're missing the whole story, pal. You're missing the whole story. Not this gentleman. You're missing the whole story. As a parrot for them right here. You're like working the PR line for them. You're the one missing it, not him.
Continues the prejudice that you have. You don't mention China, you don't mention Saudi, you don't mention the UK. They all have significant donations as well.
Is there anybody?
I don't know what I'm listening to.
Is this the craziest thing you've ever seen? It's the absolute craziest rant I've ever seen. Putting Germany and the UK on the same playing field as China and Qatar.
Right, that fund terrorist.
Look, nobody is perfect. And I know that you built your life on this one thing. But no country is perfect, and I'm as pro-Israel as any member is up here. Certainly recognize the anti-Semitism that's been around for over 2,000 years. I don't know why you want to use an anti-Semitic term, I don't know why you want to make Qatar the scapegoat here.
There you go. I mean, there's 4 minutes and 20 seconds of this hearing today that is just stunning.
You know what? And he goes about saying, why are you, bringing up Qatar and focusing on Qatar? I think at the beginning, he was the one that brought up Qatar, wasn't it?
I don't know. I only have the clip from there. He actually did bring up Qatar, but I'm not sure if it was today. It was actually back in maybe before he was working the PR line or had some ties to them that maybe we don't know about or maybe we do know about. It was back in 2019 when he spoke like this.
Those relationships. Yeah, just to continue, unfortunately, Iran isn't alone in its promotion of radical Islamic terrorism. Across the Persian Gulf, it's the nation of Qatar, whose well-documented support for terrorism and extremist groups have fueled violence, civil war, and bloodshed. Its blind eye to the terrorist financing within its own borders continues to undermine American security and calls into question the long-term partnership of the U.S.-operated base within the country. This certainly is going to be a topic of conversation that's rising to the top. Certainly, I understand we have a significant investment in intelligence there. But I would just assure you that Congress and certainly Secretary Pompeo and the right people understand the complexity of this issue and will do what they think is right for America. On June 8, 2017, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Egypt, and the UAE designated 59 people in 12 groups, all either based in or otherwise associated with Qatar for links to terrorism. Among these terrorist groups are, of course, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hamas. Qatar's hedging support for extremists hostile to the United States cannot.
Now, why are you putting Germany and the UK together in the same thing? Now, how do you explain how you get from that to what we saw today?
Ooh, can I?
If it's not something...
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Can I take a stab? I'll direct you to Qatari, DIAR.com. That's Qatari, DIAR.com. I just found this. U.S. Senator for Kansas visits Qatari DR's headquarters. February 2023. Looks like the sheikh, the chairman of Qatar DR, and let's see, who was the CEO of Qatari DR, received Dr. Roger Marshall, U.S. Senator for Kansas, at the Qatari DR's headquarters in Qatar, where they discussed opportunities for cooperation in the United States. I don't know if maybe his visit to Qatar may have had some type of influence in his change of tone and tenor and his stance and his view of Qatar and what they do on the world stage. It could be something like that. I don't know, but it's kind of odd when you juxtapose what he just said there as a representative to now what he's saying as a senator.
Here's the senator in 2020 quoted in the Arab Weekly. Quote, "For those that continue to aid bad actors, a realignment of military support may be long overdue," U.S. Representative Roger Marshall, a Republican from Kansas, said in reference to Qatar. "Its blind eye to terrorism funding in its own borders continues to undermine American security and calls into question the long-term partnership of the U.S.-operated base within the country." So that is one heck of a turn.
I got another one.
From 19 and 20 to this unexplainable rant today in this hearing.
Yeah. So that second thing you read was what, from 2020?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to May 15th, 2022. Damon, Senator Marshall hosts Qatar ambassador in Kansas.
Right.
So in 2022, here's what he had to say. Having the opportunity to host the ambassador Al Thani in Kansas City today, there is no doubt, Damon, that the relationship between our two countries over the past 50 years could not be more important, especially after they helped get a record number of Americans out of Afghanistan. Senator Marshall said, it was an honor to host the ambassador this weekend, and I look forward to strengthening the diplomatic relations between our countries for years to come. And that's what he was doing today, making sure he's strengthening those connections there. Of course, we don't know what other connections there could be. We're just kind of throwing it out there. But interesting when you take a look at what he used to say to what he says now, and what he said over the last 3 years. Wonder what changed his mind.
And let me just put a bow on this, and then we'll move on to other things. Roger Marshall is up for re-election next year, I believe. What's the over-under on a Trump endorsement of this guy?
Oh, he'll get endorsed.
And I just ask you, how do we expect things to change if we keep putting up these kind of candidates? I just don't know how we expect it. I saw Nick Sorter today on Twitter. Congress was gone for 2 weeks, came back for 4 days. Now they're off for a long weekend again, and absolutely nothing has gotten done. Nothing. All right, we'll do some news with Delgado when we get back. Live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night.
Quite the about face.
I mean, it's like your first day there. That would be like, I don't even know what that is the equivalent of.
Sounds like a Democrat.
I mean, it just sounds like I don't even think so. Like honestly, like I think most of them know at least the difference between our enemies and our allies. At least some of them. You're not going after Germany and the UK. What?
Crazy.
Chat. What's going on? TikTok, Patriot
goodness.
on YouTube. Hello.
Just crazy.
Trump has to have a strategy. Yeah, okay. I know everybody always thinks he has a strategy, but what's the strategy on Lindsey Graham? You hear him tonight at dinner? Hey, Lindsey. Lindsey must be, man, something else on the golf course or Hank to hang out with or something. There's something. There's something.
You know what? I think he knows Lindsey's easy to get onto his side.
Cindy Hyde-Smith, disaster. Randy Fine, disaster. Lindsey Graham, disaster.
Because what did
Roger Wicker, disaster.
Who did we have on the other night?
Roger Marshall, incoming, guaranteed incoming in the next year.
David,
disaster.
Who did we have on the other night?
Josh Hammer?
The cool chair?
Oh, the guy from the Galuli from Wellness Company.
Him? Oh,
Yeah.
No, maybe I forget who said it. Because you brought up, some of these people that are disasters, and he said, and he came at it with a different point of view.
Yeah, the CDC director, Moneris.
Right. And who said, was it Galuli?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said that RFK gave that name to Trump.
That's what the report was.
Somebody sent me something tonight saying that on John and Amanda's show, somebody told them that they think she's a great, that Trump and RFK are on the same page, and they think that she's great.
Right. I guess what Galuli said is she's manageable. That they can get her to do what they want.
She worked for Obama and Biden. Stop.
Right.
Come on.
But that's what he said.
If
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know anything about it.
Stop. right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B, flying through the first hour here on a Thursday night. President Trump took a little bit of it to speak at the White House. We covered that for you. Delgado's here. I'm here. Everybody else is off. Aaron and Fran, of course, are here holding it down. Couldn't do it without them. We are back into March Madness tonight. We've got Florida in a barn burner with Maryland. Not surprised. And BYU keeping it close to the spread, but not really in the game. Down 11 right now to Alabama. And that line, I think, is like BYU, like 6, right? I think 5.5, 6. I thought this game might be.
It was 9. Was it 9?
I think the Florida game is 9.
Oh, the Florida game.
But, yeah, Alabama right now taking care of business, 63-52. So BYU's trying to keep up, but Florida's 6.5. Thank you. Florida's in a barn burner with Maryland. Maryland playing well, so we'll keep an eye on both of those games.
Well, they were also in that tight game. They were behind a lot to UConn the other night.
They were. That one was no surprise to me. I didn't think UConn could win. They had a chance to win, and honestly, they really should have won if they could rebound the ball and not give them second and third chances. But the odds makers was telling you that game was going to be close because everybody said, "Oh, Florida should be an 18-point favorite," and well, they were a 9-point favorite. So when you see everybody saying, "Oh man, this is the easiest bet in the world," you just know that it's going to be closer than everybody thinks. So good to see everybody in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, Getter, Kick, wherever you're watching. We appreciate you all in the chat. Make sure you hit the likes, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you can, wherever you're watching. Slick's off tonight, so no sports. We'll keep a track of the games though. But let's do some news while we can. Before we wrap up hour 1. And here with the news is Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, one of the big stories, some good news is, let's face it, top I almost said MSNBC, MS-13 leader described as the worst of the worst is arrested in Virginia during a major Trump-backed operation. Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel doing their jobs, and they are out touting the arrest of this MS-13 gang leader outside of D.C. They say he was one of the top kingpins for the brutal gang in the United States. Henry Josu Santos, 24, an illegal immigrant, was booked on weapons charges early this morning after a raid near Dale City, Virginia, in Prince William County. He's just one of 340 illegal migrant criminals busted by the new FBI task force this month alone. Here is FBI Director Kash Patel touting that arrest. Cut number 5 on the capture of the MS-13 gang leader. Cut 5.
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And we're going to continue to let good cops be cops across this country. President Trump gave us the executive decision to go after and safeguard our communities. General Bondi is our warrior of justice leading that charge. Governor Youngkin, it's an honor to be a partner in this operation with you and U.S. Attorney Siebert. This is a mandate we have. Right now we have an American dying every 7 minutes from a drug overdose. That is a national security crisis we have not seen ever before. We have a woman or child being raped every 6.5 minutes in this country. We have a homicide twice an hour. No part of that metric is a safe and secure America. But thanks to the brave leadership of this administration and the folks that you see here, we are returning our communities to safety. As you heard, we took down this morning a top leader of MS-13. That is not done easily. That is done with brilliant law enforcement.
Yeah, and he was out there. You know what you never saw in the last 4 years is Christopher Wray out there talking like this. You never saw that happening. You only saw Christopher Wray up on Capitol Hill having to answer questions as to what the hell is going on with the FBI. The joint operation, which included the arrest of Villatoro, was launched on March 3rd. It involved the FBI, ICE, ATF, and Virginia State Police, as well as Prince William County Police Department. He's been in the country for more than a decade and was believed to be recruited to the gang from middle school. He was nabbed by FBI agents who were staking out his mother's home about 23 miles outside of the Capitol, according to the documents released this morning for the arrest. So great news. One more killer off the streets and hopefully out of the country very soon. Some other people who are going to be facing justice. You ever hear about this guy? This guy is named Paul Kim. Cut number 2. Check this out. This is Paul Hyan Kim. There you go. That's some of his handiwork that you see in the background there. He was arrested yesterday by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department after at least 5 cars were allegedly set on fire on March 18th at the local Tesla Collision Center over in Las Vegas. He's been charged, Damon, with multiple crimes ranging from destruction of property, arson, and possessing a fire device, according to jail records. He's also going to face federal charges as well, according to the FBI special agent in charge, Spencer Evans, who he told reporters early this morning at a briefing, there's nothing courageous or noble about firebombing private property or terrorizing your local community. Evans said the self-righteous mob that's cheering you on today to commit acts of violence on their behalf will leave you high and dry and forget about you tomorrow. And at the end of the day, you and you alone will be held responsible and face a prospect of a lengthy prison sentence. I think he's facing, at the very least, 20 years in prison. Police say Kim arrived near the location in a black Hyundai Elantra. Of course, the cameras caught everything. Before walking over to the Tesla building, he allegedly concealed his face. Not good enough. Wore gloves and black clothing, and allegedly damaged the surveillance cameras with a rifle as well. He spray painted the word resist on the Tesla Center's front doors. And according to his own social media activity, he showed potential links to communist groups and Palestinian causes. His DNA matched also DNA samples collected at the scene of the attack. So this guy has got a lengthy prison sentence in his future, and let's hope they throw the book at him.
Well, there are 2 other district court judges in D.C. that are working besides Boasberg, who seems to get all the Trump cases. There are 2 more I've discovered, Judge Karen Henderson and Judge Patricia Millette. Both of them are working. How do I know that? Well, because about 40 minutes ago, the 2 of them have ruled that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, now listen to this, cannot enforce President Trump's executive order banning transgender individuals from serving in the military. We don't need. Why do we have a president? We don't need a. Did anyone know this? We don't need a president. Stop all elections going forward. Let's we've got to rethink all this.
The judges.
We don't need a president. We don't need executive. We don't need. We don't need any of this. We don't need it because we've got D.C. District Court, Circuit Court judges Karen Henderson and Judge Millette, and they've ruled. Did you vote? No, you probably didn't vote for either one of these.
No, I never heard of them.
Well, whoever out there of you voted for... No, yeah, right. No, none of you did.
I didn't see them on the ballot.
That's right. No, I didn't either. Yeah. They both have ruled that the Secretary of Defense, appointed by the President of the United States, who you did vote for, cannot enforce President Trump's executive order banning transgender individuals from serving in the military. So... this commander-in-chief term we keep putting on these guys we elect, I don't know.
So judges...
What's the point?
I guess judges, is what we're learning, are in charge of the military now. Right?
Yeah, well, yes.
So they can determine, I guess, who we go to war with, who can fight. I guess they make all the rules for everything.
Yeah, commander-in-chief, whatever. We don't need those. We don't need these terms anymore.
Yeah, you got judges-in-chief.
We got judges-in-chief. Crazy.
Just amazing.
All right, what else, Doug?
Let's see.
We don't have time for anything else. So, man, that was a quick hour. All right, we'll wrap hour 1. We'll come back hour 2 on a Thursday night live from Studio 6B. This is the... God, it just drives you crazy. Political headline tonight. Trump allies are starting to notice Hegseth's growing pile of mistakes. I mean,
like what?
It's just crazy.
And
this is why, and this is what infuriates you when you see, because you'll have guys in the Republican Party like Marshall, like Graham, like others who will go, well, the ads made a couple. This is maybe we need to put their panties on before they go talk to the media after they read a headline like this. Oh, geez, maybe I don't want Politico coming to ask me anything about it. They're so pathetic. Who wrote this? Jack Deutsch, Paul McCleary, and Eli Stokels. Trump allies are starting to notice Hegseth's growing pile of mistakes. Really? What Trump allies? Do you think they name any? Of course not.
What pile of mistakes?
Let's see who they. It's just 2016 all over again. It's just a couple different pages in the same playbook.
RD Bull in the Rumble chat. RD Bull in the Rumble chat. I have that story coming up.
Same crap.
I wonder if a judge is going to now demand the release.
Chat. What's going on, chat?
Demand the release of the MS-13 guy because,
Well, we'll have to wait for a judge to decide what
Yeah.
They're deciding everything. A judge can say that the Secretary of Defense cannot implement the President of the United States executive order dealing with the military. BYU still down 12, not making up any ground.
12 minutes.
Still got a little time.
Yeah.
All right, 9 o'clock, hour 2, live from Studio 6B. So here's where I am in my life, Delgado. Here's what my wife took a half day today because she had to go get her yearly cancer screening, which, thank God, everything was good.
Very nice. Congratulations.
And then you know what we decided to do with our free afternoon? I did some work in the morning and prepped to have some couple hours off. Do you know what we did today?
I don't know.
This is where we're at.
Is this where we're at?
This is where you're at as you're approaching 53, as I am at the end of April.
Let's see. Did she massage your goiter?
We decided we were going to go to the new Wegmans.
Oh, you went to the Wegmans?
That opened on Long Island.
Yeah.
And we spent about 2.5 hours.
That was a big deal when it opened about
walking around
a month
Wegmans.
Yeah.
And then we had lunch in Wegmans together.
I hear they have good food.
That's basically where I'm at.
It's fun. Sounds like you're ready for the Blue Plate special.
I didn't want to know if she wanted to play
Pinochle
while we were sitting there.
Maybe a little shuffleboard on the side of the Wegmans while you guys wait for your mashed potatoes because you gotta eat soft food these days, Dave.
I mean, I don't know what the deal is with Wegmans or whatever, but I don't know anything about Wegmans. It's the first one that opened on Long Island, but let me just say this: it was fantastic. They've got more prepared. I mean, you could go in there every day and eat a meal and not hit everything that they have probably for months.
Right. From what I understand, it's like a bigger, like a more expansive, Uncle Giuseppe's.
Oh, it's like Uncle Giuseppe's, Stop and Shop, Costco, all rolled into one almost.
Right, that's what I hear.
It's got to be, I don't know, 8,000 square feet, the place?
Yeah.
10,000 square feet, maybe?
Well, the one you went to, I know that area. That used to be a Toys R Us. So it was a big space.
It used to be a Toys R Us,
Yeah.
and I think they actually took a little more space other than the Toys R Us. But we went to the new Wegmans here on Long Island, and it's unbelievable. And so we walked around. We walked every single aisle. Every single aisle. So you got like the prepared food part, which is expansive.
Which you probably couldn't even move from because you're like, no, I'm going to have that.
They make everything fresh right there. They got a sushi bar. They're making sushi rolls and stuff fresh right there. They got fish, fresh fish. They got meats, steak. They got everything you could imagine in this one section. Then in the middle, you've got the basic grocery store. You got like Stop and Shop stuffed in the middle.
Right.
And then in the far left, you've got like Costco. You've got like big bulk stuff up on the... I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
And I really enjoyed myself. Is that pathetic to say? No, I don't think it is. I really enjoyed walking around Wegmans. See, Barbara Knight says Wegmans is great, so she obviously has a Wegmans or been to one. So have you been there yet?
No, I haven't been there yet.
Oh, man.
But I know exactly because it was a big deal when it happened. I remember they were closing off traffic, all that stuff in front of the place because it's right across from the Costco. So I had to avoid Costco that day because I knew the Wegmans was opening. Why the hell are we talking about this? I don't know.
Yeah, because I just don't know where I'm judging my life or where I am here, and that I had enjoyed. Well, I could have fun with my wife anywhere, so it's not about that.
Now, was she constantly smacking your hand? Put that back. Put that back. Damon, put that back.
Well, kind of. You know what she has? I mean,
patience.
I mean, she's in pretty good shape, and she goes to the gym every morning at 4:30, and that tells you what you need to know about her. She's got an app that you can scan the barcode, and it comes up with a numbering system of how bad it is for you. You just...
Let me guess. I mean, everything you picked had like a 100 on it.
I had things that were 0 out of 100.
Oh, so the lowest number is bad.
Lower the number, the worse for you it was.
Okay.
You know what my Golden Grams was? 7 out of 100.
Golden Grams?
Can't eat them anymore. Yeah, I love cereal. Golden Grams.
They still make that?
Of course. What are you out of your mind? So, I mean, then I had to go get the Kashi, and then that, of course, is like a, 80 out of 100 with a green light. Like, go ahead. Yeah, good.
Oh, great.
Might as well eat the grass outside.
Yeah, exactly. Let me have some milk with this dirt, please. Yeesh.
Exactly. I mean, come on. You got to live a little. Golden Grams was a 7. And she's like, it's not just because of the sugar, which was like whatever, but it's all the the fake ingredients and stuff. So
it's not real Golden Grams.
I got to a point where I was grabbing stuff, and she's like, "Let's shoot that," and I was like, "Oh, please, please!" I was like, just praying that it came up higher than like 20.
Damon walked out with 2 bags of celery sticks. Here you go.
Well, whatever. Well, I'm back on my fasting like hardcore. So
is that why you're so grumpy during the break?
Yeah, I'm starving all the time. But I like it, so I don't know. Every day I see 3-4 pounds come off, so I like that. But I'm starving right now. I could DoorDash right now sitting here a sandwich from Wegmans because they look like they make great sandwiches, but whatever. Why are we talking about this? I have no idea. All right, let's do some news. Delgado's only done a little bit, and news is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. And hear what that is, Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, we were talking about arrests being made and criminals being pulled off the street. How about a millionaire? A millionaire criminal. Yep, a millionaire filmed keying a Tesla has been identified. The millionaire fitness coach. She's a millionaire fitness coach, believe it or not. Here she is, cut number 4, getting caught keying a Tesla. I don't know why people don't understand this. That these Teslas.
It's called a camera.
They all have these surround cameras. Even the electric car I have has cameras all around it, so you can see everything.
Yeah.
It's amazing that these people are that stupid, but of course they are. Here she is, cut number 4. Check this out. Her name is Camelia Ensler. She's 55, and she's facing charges of malicious mischief in the third degree after she was filmed vandalizing another driver's Tesla Y just last week. Check this out. Here she is. She gets out of her car.
And she's, what'd you say, $1 million what?
She's a millionaire. She's a millionaire fitness coach. Yes.
I mean, she looks like she's been eating my Golden Grams. What are you talking about?
She looks like she could do a couple crunches. And here she goes. I guess she's yelling at the person and decides she's going to key the car while she's at it.
Uh-huh.
You know, because she's so morally superior than anybody who owns a Tesla. She had to stop her car where she was in that parking lot, get out, and start to destroy somebody else's property.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure what fitness she's doing, but she looks like she's been walking into Wegmans too much. But that's just me.
There she goes. She got her steps in.
Okay.
According to the investigators, they say they don't believe her behavior was politically motivated, but we know it was, and they described it as an act of road rage. She's married to Jeff Ensler, the lead software engineer for DocuSign, where he has worked for 12 years. The couple has a $1.5 million home in Bellevue, a stunning suburb of Seattle, famed for its greenery and lakes. They bought the property, blah, blah, blah. She, of course, since she's been outed and has been arrested, Ensler has deleted her LinkedIn and social media accounts, but according to public records, she owns a fitness company called iPeak Fitness. So there you have it. Another criminal. You keep doing it. It's the FAFO, right? These people, they F around, and now they're finding out that you just can't, just because you're triggered by the thought of someone catching corruption in the government that you love, that you refuse to believe could do anything that's not benevolent, they have to come to its defense by destroying people's property, which is amazing. So there you have it. That woman, again, her name, Camelia Ensler, 55, of Seattle, Washington.
Tim Walz is, we've talked about this. The Democrats seem just lost on what to try to do to grab any traction. Of course, the signal thing is just they're looking at it as a gift to them, when it's really not, of course. But because the media is so crooked and corrupt that it helps them prolong these things. And of course, as we said, the Trump people shouldn't be given any more oxygen at this point. But anyways, AOC's out there with Bernie Sanders, the Red. They're going around talking to people. And now Tim Walz is out with, Beto O'Rourke. Oh, yes. What a lineup that is.
Wow.
That's going to draw in the big crowds. And tonight they were in Texas. And Tim Walz has thought long and hard about what got them to this place and what they've done wrong. And here's a little bit of his thoughts tonight.
That our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants. And we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI. And we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them. And so...
Okay. So there you go. We need more DEI, more woke, and more illegals, according to Tim Walz tonight. That's where we're at.
Yeah, doubling down on stupid.
And then a little farther in, this one's a little interesting. Tim Walz sounds a little, I don't know here. He doesn't own a pillow company that we could try to put out of business. But here's another part of the town hall.
Election integrity. I hope they all have seen the reports from cybersecurity experts that they've released analyses of election data out of Clark County, Nevada, that shows some pretty convincing evidence of election tampering. My biggest fear is that we're not going to make it to the midterms. So what can we do to make sure, A, that the midterms actually happen, and B, that they're free of fraud?
Yeah.
She's quite the compelling speaker. Oof. I'm drawn in.
Now, what's Tim have to say here?
Yeah, this one's the core. We saw just recently Donald Trump's executive order to make it more difficult, specifically to women, trying to make it more difficult for women to be able to vote. We see one of the first things they do is try and restrict the vote. This is one of the things, though, that this is going to take power to the streets. And look, I don't know what the answer is on this.
Oh, so Tim Walz, I guess, thinks that there's a little funny business going on in the election. What evidence does he have of this, other than that woman telling him? I don't know.
She made quite the argument there.
Yeah, I guess he thought. He thought so too. He didn't push back on it at all. But that's some compelling stuff there.
Yeah.
That's what they think. That's what they think they're going to hit the road and do around the country. I guess, and Bernie and AOC are out there doing more of it as well. And again, their answer to what they need to do now is to double down on what they've done that got them here.
Right. They think that's the winning formula, which is, again, I think Scott Jennings said it. Someone like Jasmine Crockett, keep sending her out there. Keep sending Tim Walz out there. Keep sending these losers out there.
I think I've been saying that.
Yeah, they're doing a great job for the Democrats.
Keep sending her out there.
Love it,
Tim. All right, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday. We're back right after this. You don't normally see them miss by that much, but I told you that line. I mean, that line would have made me seriously think about betting BYU, and they're getting crushed. What a terrible line that is. Alabama went off tonight at a 4.5-point favorite when it was all said and done, and they are up 23.
They just scored their 100th point, and there's 6 minutes to go.
They're up 23 as a 4.5-point favorite. If you bet it late, you were able to get 4.5.
I picked them for my bracket.
That is a crazy miss.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I know the odds makers only have 3 days to try to come up with this matchup, but I mean, you don't normally see them miss like that. That's why I thought BYU had a chance in this game. I'm thinking, how could this line be 6.5? Alabama should win this game by 20 going away easy.
Well, you know who was their coach last year, right?
Whose?
BYU.
No.
Mark Pope.
Oh, the guy at Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got 2 reads here on top of all that.
No.
Delgado's going to do the reads. He did him so good the other night.
Yeah, I did him so good.
You have him?
No.
I'll send him. What do you mean you're not doing them?
He's got to go warm his feet.
You're going to go warm your feet?
Bathroom is cold. AC.
TWC PM?
Yep.
TWC. What is PM?
Patriot Mobile.
Down the bottom. All right.
Oh, and by the way, Love Guernseys on Getter says they also love Golden Grams.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, come on. How can you not? Straight to jail if you don't love Golden Grams. But no good. 7 out of 100. No good. Can't do it. Got to stick with my cottage cheese, yogurt, and grape nuts on top. It's about as close as I'm getting to cereal these days.
Maybe some dandelions from the yard. What's the name of the app?
Her app that she was scanning and ruining my...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to say yucky or something. Yucca.
What is it? Yucca?
Yeah, might as well call it yucky because that's all of that's what the scan. When you scan it, the thing says basically gives you the middle finger and says, "Ugh, can't eat that."
Yucca,
fat boy. That was it. What's it called? Yucca.
Yucca.
Yeah, yucca. Oh, she had that. She had that stuff loaded up so fast. me talk to you about our friends at the Wellness Company. It's a new day in America and a new administration in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of excitement and optimism about the future, but the reality is there's a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The truth is that the forces that are responsible for breaking our healthcare system aren't going to simply go away. The challenges our system faces won't disappear overnight. Now more than ever, you need to be prepared, and that's, of course, where the Wellness Company comes in. Their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. So whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, or the travel kit, these prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of these medications. So from flu to strep throat, from COVID to bird flu, from a trip to the beach or a trip overseas, the Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Make America healthy again. It's going to start at home. Do your part. Protect the health of you and your family. Go to twc.health/voice. twc.health/voice today in order right now. That's twc.health/voice. You can use promo code VOICE for an additional 10% off. That's 10% off using code, what did I say? Code RAV? Code VOICE. Promo code VOICE for an additional 10% off. Well, while we may have won the election, the fight to restore our great nation is only beginning. Now's the time to take a stand, and Patriot Mobile is leading the charge. As America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, Patriot Mobile offers a way for you to vote with your wallet without compromising on quality or convenience. Patriot Mobile isn't just about providing exceptional cell phone service. It's a call to action to defend our rights and freedoms. With Patriot Mobile, you'll get outstanding nationwide coverage because they operate on all three of the major networks. If you have cell phone service today, you can get cell phone service with Patriot Mobile with a coverage guarantee. But the difference is every dollar you spend supports the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, and our veterans and first responders. Switching is easy. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Their 100% U.S.-based customer support team will help you find the perfect plan. Go to patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or you can call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, and get a free month of service with promo code RAV. Go there right now, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT. Margie Stokes on Twitter says, what's going on with the show tonight, guys? You're all over the place. And I said, first night, huh? Okay. 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. See, this is, when we talk about weak rhino Republicans, this is where they become even more of a problem. Because as Delgado said, Hegseth seems to be, this is the op. The psyops here and the op is on Hegseth. When reality, as the president said in the Oval Office, I guess it was yesterday or the day before, what are you asking me questions about Hegseth for? I mean, yes, Hegseth they're saying was he tweeted too much. He was kind of the big mouth who said too much. But he's not the one who put if Jeffrey Goldberg doesn't find his way onto the chat, no one even knows what Hegseth says.
Right. And if Jeffrey Goldberg was supposed to be on there because it was, he was part of the inner circle, then he would have been cleared to hear all these things. He was not supposed to be there to begin with. And how is Hegseth supposed to know that? Because he didn't set up that call. Right?
Exactly.
Like you're on a group chat, that you get a message, okay, we're going to be talking about what's going on with the Houthis. Chime in. Here's the link. We'll see you at 10 a.m., whatever time, whatever they were doing. And he clicks and he jumps in. He's assuming that the person who put this together has made sure that everybody that's supposed to be there is supposed to be there and that he can speak freely. So I don't understand. Well, I do understand they're going after Hegseth because he's the problem.
How about the dirtbag just immediately say, hey, I don't know what is going on here, guys, but I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I mean, I guess we can't expect him to do that when you're running that rag over the Atlantic. And, of course, you're looking at this going, oh.
Unless, again, he was put there on purpose, which is a distinct possibility.
Well,
that they labeled him JG on purpose so no one would know that this guy was not supposed to be there. They probably assumed, well, whoever put this together knows who JG is.
I mean, no offense, but even if I get a chat with Aaron, Fran, you, Slick, Vin, Paul, and somebody else, I go to go where it says 15 people. I click on it and see which one of the number. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I do that too, but there are some numbers I just don't have names for.
Well, you think someone would have said, well, who's this one?
But I'm assuming that if Damon puts together this group, say you put together the group and you start talking about stuff for the show that only we're supposed to know about, I'm assuming I'm free to speak and nobody's going to be, I'm not going to get in trouble for it because you put the group together.
I agree. Well, my long point of all of this is what happens when you get weak Republicans talking to the Hill and other places that, we need to look into this, and this might be a problem, and they keep giving it oxygen. Politico out tonight with this headline: Trump allies are starting to notice Hegseth's growing pile of mistakes. And if you're sitting there going, huh? Well, you'd be right, because I'm doing the same thing. Trump allies are starting to notice Hegseth's growing pile of mistakes. Some White House and Pentagon officials now believe Hegseth is the one who messed up in the Signal chat scandal by sending sensitive details on his phone. So the guy who didn't put Jeffrey Goldberg on the thing is the one who screwed up, according to the headline in Politico tonight. And Trump allies, White House and Pentagon officials, well, what Trump allies, you ask? Well, that would be a reasonable first question. Well, nobody knows. We have no idea. It doesn't matter. The White House is publicly defending Pete Hegseth after he texted sensitive military information in a Signal chat. But behind the scenes, administration insiders, another new word, insiders, are starting to express doubts about the Pentagon chief's judgment. Well, what insiders? Well, we have no idea.
And what judgment are they talking about? Talking to his contemporaries, other people that are supposed to be in that chat, discussing something that they're allowed to speak about. So now he's not supposed to be able to trust the other secretaries and the other people in. I don't understand. Who are these? You know what, insider? Just tell us who you are. Come on the show. We invite you to come on the show. We'll put a black thing over your face, but we'll tell everybody your name, and you can tell us exactly what insiders are saying. How about that?
Officials agree. National Security Advisor Mike Walz, who accidentally invited a journalist. Well, we don't even know that if he's the one who did it. He's taking responsibility.
Right.
Could have been some underling for him. It could have been somebody who, we don't know. At least we don't know. Maybe he knows. Could more easily take the fall for a scandal that has embarrassed the administration, which may end up sparing Hegseth's job. Let's go to paragraph 3. Maybe we'll get some names of who these insiders are here. But Republican hawks, Pentagon officials, and even some inside the White House. Well, who? Who specifically inside the White House or at the Pentagon or Republican hawks are they talking about? We have no idea, because this is what they do. They don't have any idea. They just want to do the wrap-up smear and have somebody point to, look at this. Oh.
The only thing this story is missing, Damon,
is a name.
Is an appearance by Adam Schiff saying he's seen it all, he has it all, and that he knows that everybody's guilty. That's the only thing missing is Adam Schiff.
Well, let's go to paragraph 4. Maybe we'll get to a name. Trump clearly likes and has publicly exonerated Hegseth. You're not going to hear a huge public outcry, said a senior GOP official on Capitol Hill who's close to the White House. There's a good description. Who could that be? Oh, anybody. Who knows? Nobody knows. Because this is what they do. This is the 2016 playbook again with a couple new pages thrown in.
Right. Instead of Russia, 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 it's signal, signal, signal.
All nonsense from Politico. Nonsense. Damon likes golden Lindsey Graham.
That's funny because it's stupid.
Damon likes golden Lindsey Grahams. Oh, Margie said it's not her first night. Okay.
It's her second. So there.
I mean,
take that, Dave.
If you watch the show and then you're surprised that we're all over the place, I figure it's your first night.
According to Charlie Kirk, this is coming from Joe Ed Jr. in the Rumble chat. Charlie Kirk says Mike Walz still has a bunch of Biden cronies in the National Security Advisor's office. Why hasn't Walz cleaned house already? That's a good question.
Damon, you started the conversation with your day at Wegmans. Don't yell at Delgado. I don't even know what that means.
I think because of the cereal. Oh, I'm a Frosted Flakes kid.
Maybe at the end because I said, "Why are we talking about this?" Let's move on. Well, I was talking to myself. I talk to myself, you know.
And what does yourself usually say in response?
You're an idiot. Yeah. Meaning me. Fed up independent voter says, anyone, give Damon a damn happy pill. He's so depressing lately.
Lately?
Much love to the rest of you.
What is this, the first time watching the show?
Oh, the rest of you get love. Oh, how nice.
Who sent me this?
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bow.
Somebody sent me a link to some of the other things from last night's Ark of the Covenant discussion that we had from the breaking news there.
Oh, I got to send you this thing. The funniest thing I got all night. I sent it to Slick. Let me pull it up. Oh, my God. It was so funny. Somebody wrote and said, at LFS6B, we were very disappointed in last night's show. We waited as long as we could to hear Rick Delgado's big news that he mentioned at the start of the show. But the entire crew kept giving Signalgate more and more oxygen. We finally gave up in disgust and changed the channel.
You should have stuck around. We talked about the Ark of the Covenant.
Well, they're not watching. Don't talk to them. They've given up.
No, that was last night.
Oh.
So they're back tonight.
Everyone always comes back.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still here.
You're not supposed to be laughing at that, Aaron. Alrighty, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. Glad you're in. It's time now, on March 27th, to do our Epstein file drop update for the night. And here with that is Rick Delgado. Mr. Delgado, what is our Epstein update for the night?
There it is, Damon.
And there you have it for Thursday, March 27th, your Epstein file update. We don't need any binders over here. It's the same result day in, day out. There you go. For a Thursday, March 27th, we'll do another one tomorrow night on a Friday night, Pizza Friday, live from the America First warehouse, where we will be tomorrow night.
I just want names.
Well, maybe tomorrow night's update, you'll be able to provide some. So we'll keep doing it until you have some names or at least a binder. So those of you watching on social media, welcome on in. Make sure you head over to livefromstudio6b.com as well and sign up to be a member there. You got some more news, Delgado? I got a couple of things to get to, too.
Yeah,
but the political thing is just a joke. I mean, but this is what they do. Trump allies are now worried about Pete Hegseth. And you go down this, paragraph 5, paragraph 6, Defense Department did not respond for a request for comment. Okay, paragraph 8, no names there. 9, nothing. 10, nothing. 11, nothing. Oh, our first name comes in paragraph 13. Quote, intentionally putting classified info on an unclassified application is the real crime. Guess who that was? Who Democrat that was? Oh, no, it wasn't a Democrat. It was Representative Dan Bacon, a Nebraska Republican and retired Air Force Brigade General. That's the only name you will find in here other than Hegseth. Oh, you have Kevin Kramer, too. No one needs to lose their job over this, but we do need to get to the bottom of it. And just be rest assured it's not going to happen anymore. Thank you. That's fine. Other than those two names, there are no other names. So going back to the title, Trump allies, there are no allies in this story.
No.
White House staff, no names. Pentagon officials, no names. So all the people that make up the top two biggest headlines here, nowhere to be found in the article, but that's exactly the way they want it. So Miranda Devine has a piece tonight in the New York Post. Mike Waltz's Signal Gate blunder is a hard lesson to be learned for Trump's winning team. And she basically says essentially what everyone at this point is saying. Okay, yeah, not the greatest move. Definitely a mistake. Definitely should find out how this happened. Who's responsible? Was it nefarious? Was it really just that somebody made a mistake? But let's stop with all of the outrage.
Yes, the hyperbole.
We've all lived through Clinton, Hunter, Joe, Milley. I mean, please, the list goes on and on and on. We don't need to hear from any of you about any of this. We don't need to hear from Eric Swalwell. I mean, come on. This is a joke? Eric Swalwell? We don't need to hear from any of these. Rich Dick Blumenthal?
You mean stolen valor, Dick?
Yeah. We don't need to hear. Stop. Please. So Miranda Devine's piece in the New York Post today, worth a read. Let's do some more news and hear what that's Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, my brackets are looking better as Alabama's now moving on with their big win.
Boy, I mean, these are two absolute misses by the odds makers that are, I mean, not even close.
Yeah. Well, Florida, Maryland was close. It was a 2-point game at half, but now it's a 13-point game.
It's 13 now, and the line was what, 6?
Yeah, and Florida's pulling away. So that's good news there.
7.
I don't know
so
if you
a little better. But.
I don't know if you caught some of the Collins on Collins crime on TV today, Damon.
Yeah.
But it happened on CNN as VA Secretary Doug Collins got into a contentious interview, and guess what it had to do with? It wasn't about the VA, which is what he came there to talk about.
Right. It was about
course,
Signal.
It was about Caitlin Collins wanting to make headlines with another story about the Signal Gate. So here it is. Here is his response, and this is about a 2-minute clip, but I think it's worth watching. Cut number 3. VA Secretary Doug Collins as he pummels Caitlin Collins on CNN about CNN. Check this out. Cut 3.
Do you believe that a mistake was made here, though, to have this conversation, to add a reporter, and to have it on an unsupported, classified group setting?
Caitlin, as I've just told you, I've just answered the question. I wasn't part of it. And, I'm not going to speculate more than what the president's already talked about and those who've been involved have talked about. But we'd love to talk about the veterans.
Yeah, and I do have questions about the veterans. But given what we saw with the group chat and how this was used, you are a member of the cabinet. You obviously know these other members, several of them who were in there. Is this typical for the cabinet to have conversations over Signal? Is this something that you use?
Well, Caitlin, Senator, you undoubtedly do not want to talk about the VA. I have a question as VA Secretary. As Cabinet, I want to ask you, because I've been curious about this, because my job is to take care of veterans, and I would like to know why CNN is hostile to veterans, especially one in Florida, where you just had a $5 million defamation suit taking offense at a veteran who was trying to help people. In fact, one of your employees actually said, we're going to nail him. I have a question for you, Caitlin. Is that employee still employed? Are you really concerned about veterans? So if we don't want to talk about veterans now, you want to talk about everything else, I'd like to hear from CNN as the veteran cabinet secretary why CNN seems to have a problem with veterans.
Well, Mr. Secretary, respectfully, my question was about whether or not you as a member of the cabinet use this. And respectfully, I'm conducting the investigation. And I do have a lot of questions for you on Veterans Affairs. But I don't think it would be unwarranted to ask
what you want to do is talk about the
cabinet.
subject I've already answered. And if you want to continue this like this, that's fine. But there are VA employees who are working very hard. There are veterans who get their care from the VA and they get their benefits from the VA. And it does me no good to speculate on something that I've already asked and answered. So I've asked and answered your question. Why don't you answer mine? Are you still, is this person still employed who said they were going to nail one of my veterans? Who you had to do a $5 million award from a jury because of defamation, and then you settled the case. Answer my question.
Respectfully, sir, I'm asking the questions here, and I have no involvement in what you're referencing there. But if you don't want to answer the question about whether or not...
Yeah, so there you have it, a little Collins on Collins crime. Coming from the former Daily Caller entertainment reporter, Caitlin Collins, who is now, I guess, a bigwig over on CNN. And you can tell her entertainment chops really came out.
I mean, that honestly, that's what you have to do sometimes with these people.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm a fan of that strategy, because I just think it sounds like you're talking over each other the whole time. But that's what you have to do when you get people like her. He tried to be nice. He gave her the out.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to say, listen, I'm not a part of it. Why, I'm the VA. Why would you be asking me? I wasn't a part of the conversation. And she just goes right back in. So at that point, it's like, you know what?
Yeah, you gotta fight fire with fire. She's trying to drag him into something, trying to get a sound clip, trying to get a headline out of it. And I'm glad that he's done this before to reporters who try to corner him on stupid stuff, and he's pretty good at it. So congratulations to VA Secretary Doug Collins for handling of the lightweight Caitlin Collins.
I'd like to know the answer to his question, by the way. Is the person still employed there?
Yeah.
They are?
I think that's a good question. I'd like to know the answer,
it's a good question. Yeah, is the person still employed there?
I'll have to look that up, see if I can find an answer for you before the end of the show.
I'm sure she knows, by the way.
She probably does.
Easily she knows.
Yeah. Anyhow, I don't know if you caught any of the House's Doge anti-American airwaves hearing that they had NPR CEO Catherine Maher at, as well as PBS CEO Paula Kerger at. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan lined up some questioning for the NPR CEO. You can check out this clip right here. Here is Jim Jordan, 3A, talking to Ms. Maher about the 87 editorial. What do you call it? The writers there for NPR. This is Cut 3A. Check this out.
Former senior business editor for NPR.
How long do you work at NPR?
I believe he was there just over 25 years.
25 years? Award-winning journalist? Did he win any awards?
Our time to
Peabody Award? That's pretty important, isn't it?
That is, absolutely.
So pretty distinguished journalist, right?
Certainly.
And he wrote a long story about what you do at NPR. Is NPR biased?
Congressman, I have never seen any instance of political bias determining editorial decisions. No.
Yeah.
Well, Mr.
And people are laughing there.
Yeah.
In his story last year wrote, in the D.C. area, editorial positions at NPR, he said he found 87 registered Democrats, 0 Republicans. Is that accurate?
We do not track the numbers or the voter registration, but I find that
was award-winning journalist who worked 25 years at NPR, Mr. Berliner. Was he lying when he wrote that?
I am not presuming such. I just we don't track that information about our journalists.
87 to 0, and you're not biased.
I think that is concerning if those numbers are accurate.
It's concerning. I mean, it wasn't 44, 43. It wasn't 60, 27. It wasn't 70, 17. It wasn't even 80 to 7. It was 87 Democrats, 0 Republicans, and you say NPR is not biased.
Well, she said, I have not seen any
any of that political bias.
Oh, if that's true, that is really concerning.
She's probably. I don't know if you saw.
Do you have Brandon Gill's questioning of her?
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact,
that's the one to watch. That was a masterclass.
All right, here he is. This is 4A, Representative Brandon Gill.
Have you ever said this? No, really? Oh,
check this out. Cut 4A.
Yeah, she wants to
Ms.
phone
Maher,
a friend.
I want to start with you. Just generally, would you say you generally agree or disagree with the following statement? The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles?
I would not say I agree with that, sir.
That's good to hear. It's interesting because a lot of your thinking, as expressed by your public statements, is deeply infused with economic and cultural Marxism. Do you believe that America is addicted to white supremacy?
I believe that I tweeted that, and as I've said earlier, I believe much of my thinking has evolved over the last half decade.
It has
Since
evolved.
I walked through the door,
Why did you tweet that?
That's what she means.
I don't recall the exact context, sir, so I wouldn't be able to say.
Okay. Do you believe that America believes in black plunder and white democracy?
I don't believe that, sir.
You tweeted that in reference to a book you were reading at the time, apparently, The Case for Reparations.
I don't think I've ever read that book, sir.
You tweeted about it. You said you took a day off to fully read the case for reparations. You put that on Twitter in January of 2020.
Oops.
Apologies, I don't recall that I did.
Okay.
I no doubt that your tweet there is correct, but I don't recall.
2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe that white people inherently feel superior to other races?
I do not.
You don't. You tweeted something to that effect. You said, I grew up feeling superior. Ha, how white of me. Why did you tweet that?
I think I was probably reflecting on what it was to grow up in an environment where I had lots of advantages.
It sounds like you're saying that white people feel superior.
I don't believe that anybody feels that way, sir. I was just reflecting on my own experiences.
Do you think that white people should pay reparations?
I've never said that, sir.
Yes, you did. You said it in January of 2020. You tweeted, yes, the North, yes, all of us, yes, America, yes, our original collective sin and unpaid debt, yes, reparations, yes, on this day.
Well, my thinking has evolved. Since when? Well, since I sat down. And as soon as I leave the seat, 10 seconds later, it's going to re-evolve.
Yeah. Love that guy. Brandon Gill out of Texas.
You get more phony. Answer, no. All right, we'll wrap it up for a Thursday when we get back right after this.
There's nothing to scan.
Oh, God, the Yuka app just ruined my day.
I just downloaded.
Kept saying, Yuka, not going to eat this.
Is that it? The little
I don't know. I'm not putting it on my phone. She had it all fired up. She had that shit ready to go so fast.
The carrot.
Yeah, I think that's,
All right.
Yuka. Do it on that poll. Well, that'll probably come up okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll say, you can't eat that.
You can't eat that. Yuka can't eat that. Yuka gonna die if you eat
Yuka
that.
gonna turn into fat boy.
Right.
Put down the Golden Grams.
I used to like Golden Grams when I was a kid. Now, but I'm still a Frosted Flakes kid.
Oh well, go scan those. I think it'll come up 0.
But I got the double box.
How many
from Costco?
Yeah, I know. How many pull-ups can you do in a row?
Not many. Why?
Someone asked in the chat.
Maybe 15.
That seems like a lot.
That's not really a lot.
That's a lot.
That's not a lot.
I could do 0.15 inch, half an inch of one going up, 15 inches of movement.
So it'd be more like a calf workout for you. Just kind of.
Yeah, just a lift. Lift. No, I'm going to get down. I'm going to get down to fighting weight.
Yeah, what weight is that? 280?
Well, no, I like to be a little lower than that.
I have to
chat. You know what the charts show that I should be at 6'5"? Like 210.
That's it?
Like, really? I wasn't 210 in like 6th grade. How could you get to 210 at 6'5"? You look like a...
Call you Damon Wembenyama.
You want to hear a terrible story that the Yuka app would not like? My cousin just reminded me. When we were kids, my mom wouldn't let us eat any kind of like cereal like that. But my grandmother, of course she would.
Of course. It's grandma.
So she'd have all the kids over to sleep, me and my 5 of us, my 3 cousins and me and my sister. Well, one morning, Grandma bought Captain Crunch for us.
Oh, I love Captain Crunch.
We all slept in the same room.
Oh, you guys must have been bouncing off the walls.
Well, no, they weren't. They were sleeping. I woke up early and ate the whole box. I woke up early, ate the whole box, then went back to bed, and they all got up and were like, what's for breakfast? 14 to the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Thursday night. Glad you're in. We'll be tomorrow night. It'll be Slick Rick will be back. Rick Delgado, myself. Although I have a conflict with my son's game. I can't believe they scheduled a Friday night game for his first game on his final basketball season. Tomorrow night at 7:30. So I guess I'm going to skip it. I don't know. But Kevin Downey Jr. will be at the America's First Warehouse on a Friday night, Pizza Friday night. So make sure you tune into that for our second week there as we continue to build towards the big opening.
Do we have a date for the big opening yet?
No, not yet. We still got some things to work out. I don't want to rush it. I want to have it right so when people show up, Are there going to be any noticeable changes this week? Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes.
Oh, okay,
We're going to change we're going to lighten up on the lump, take a lot of the audience's feedback.
Okay.
We're going to change the seats. We're going to change the lighting. I don't know that we're going to change eventually. The big change, of course, is we're going to get out of that area that we're in. But right now, that's the area that they do most of their stuff in. So we're going to be there. But we're going to eventually get out of there where the audience can be. We can be.
Look at the size of that kid.
More like in the round.
Holy heck. Sorry.
So yeah, tomorrow night will be our night 2 to work stuff out, so it'll be good. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. You better be at your son's game, Damon. I know, but it's just the time is just, I can't believe it. They've never, ever had a tournament, an opening tournament that hasn't been 2 games Saturday, 1 game Sunday, and then if you win your game Sunday, you're probably moving on to the championship game for a second game Sunday. It's always the way it's been.
Well, at least for the older kids, yeah. Because when the younger kids, I remember, back in the day, they always gave the older kids the better schedules. Like you said, 2 on a Saturday, and then you play Sunday. They never really played Fridays.
No, we've never had a Friday night game on a weekend tournament that started. I mean, so we have 1 game Friday night and then 2 Sunday. So I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Anyways, let's do a little more news before we wrap it up for tonight, and then I'll worry about tomorrow night. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, J.D. Vance, our vice president, was out hanging out with some young Marines out in Quantico. I don't know if you saw some of the video.
Did. It was awesome.
I saw him. He was doing some shooting.
Can't fake this stuff, man. You cannot fake this kind of stuff. You cannot fake the interaction. You cannot fake the just that genuine connection. You just can't fake this kind of stuff. We've seen people try to fake it, and we know what it looks like. It does not look like this.
Yeah. And of course, he was one of them, so he knows exactly, what these guys feel, what they go through, and he connects with them on this level. Here he is addressing the young Marines at Quantico. This is cut number 1. J.D. Vance, cut 1. Check this out.
So here's the thing. Under President Trump's leadership, we believe in a very simple principle. We don't care who you are, where you came from. We don't care what skin color you are. We care about excellence, and we care about patriotism. And if you are awesome and you are a patriotic young Marine, then we are going to do everything that we can to make you the most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. And that is what we're doing every single day. No more quotas, no more ridiculous mumbo jumbo, no more diversity training. We believe the real strength and the real diversity in the United States Marine Corps is that you all come from every walk of life, come from every corner of America, and you have got the strength and the purpose to win the nation's wars. And that is what the Marine Corps is going to do, just like it's done for damn near 250 years.
Look at that. You wouldn't have gotten that just 6 months ago from old Venn diagram Harris. My goodness.
Oh. Can you imagine? I mean, I know all these kids, they're all these patriots, but could you imagine what they really are sitting there thinking and they watch her? Oh, God, please. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see the video of him eating with them today, eating and shooting and all that?
Yep.
You got any video of that?
No, I didn't pull that.
Oh, man.
But, just watching him fire off those rounds was pretty impressive.
You hear him dinging. You can hear him dinging.
Yep.
It's Still got that shot.
And this one I wanted to definitely pull for you, Damon, because I know you're a big fan of Scott Jennings over on CNN. And here he is going off on cut number 8 about what the Democrats have become since they've lost the election back in November, basically self-destructing. And a lot of what we've talked about here. Here he is, Scott Jennings, cut 8.
I don't know how the Democrats came to appoint Jasmine Crockett as the unquestioned leader of your party, but thank God. And I think what she should do is go on TV twice as much as she is right now, maybe 3 times as much, because every time she appears and makes one of these mistakes, says something radical, it only further divides her party from the rest of the other 80% of America who can't stand this. But the problem is there's an audience for it. I heard Jimmy Kimmel's audience cheering on Tesla vandalism. I hear the Daily Show audience cheering on attacks on Elon Musk. I hear the human rights audience cheering on an attack on a man in a wheelchair. And I realize this is what the left has become, an angry mob of people who are cheering on attacks on a guy in a wheelchair and vandalism against people who bought a Tesla.
Yeah, there he is. Laying it down.
Stu Tarlow over at in the American Thinker today has a piece entitled "Jasmine Crockett, Queen of Ghetto Speak." and you guys you and Slick were talking about this when I wasn't here the other night.
Yeah, we played a clip of her. Before she got elected. There was no ghetto speak. Not at all. This was something that she kind of, as she goes along, she's getting more and more, she's getting more comfortable with the character of being a kid from the ghetto and, talking smack and all that and dropping R's, extending A's and all that stuff. She's starting to sound like, when Hillary would go around making speeches.
Well, Stu says she goes far beyond merely injecting y'all into her speech whenever possible. She has chosen to affect thoroughly inner city patterns, tones, rhythm, and even vernacular. I can guarantee that her current mode of speaking is not the way she spoke when she was attending the Mary Institute in St. Louis Country Day School, one of St. Louis's toniest suburbs. Her new, quote-unquote, manner of speaking is a prime example of ghettoization of America, which is surely not limited to black Americans. It probably had its origins in the paradigm shift that took place in the 60s, the age of the anti-hero, whereas the lower class had always aspired to emulate the upper class. She says he basically just takes her to task. And while Jasmine Crockett is the one using that affectation to make headlines currently, she's not the first nor the last. We saw it with Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and it goes on and on. And which is a pretty funny piece. So you read the whole thing in the American Thinker today, just about that exact subject.
Right? Yeah, because that's exactly what she does. And the clip that we had the other night, I think it was Tuesday night. She was very articulate. She spoke very nicely.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden now that she's out front, and I think she's one of these people. She's embracing the character. We say that these people are just actors, right? Because let's face it, a lot of them really don't have many moralistic beliefs that they would stand on. They just go with what is popular at the time. We got a Ukraine flag. I'll throw it up on my Facebook or on my Twitter. There you go. Now I'm a Ukraine supporter. Oh, this is the hot thing. Oh yeah, we gotta have men and girls sports because of course that's got to be fair for all the men to beat up on girls. We got to support that. They really don't have much that they stand on that they truly believe in, except that they want more power, more money, and more authority to tell you how to live your life. That's what they want.
Hey, one last thing I want to get to, because this falls under the Trump was right about everything hat that I saw Elon wearing the other day. And I don't want to forget about what happened in L.A. with these fires and these lives that were ruined. Remember President Trump out there, he met with Karen Bass at that round table, and he was like, why? Forget all the red tape. Why are we waiting? We know what's going to happen here. You're going to take forever. Let the people go do what they need to do now. And she was like, oh, I'm on it. Headline today over in the Blaze. Los Angeles has approved only a handful of building permits 75 days after the fire devastation. You know how many is a couple? 4. The city of Los Angeles has approved only 4 building permits for owners to rebuild their homes following the destructive Palisades fire 2 months ago.
Amazing.
Trump was right again. As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, all emergency personnel. Thanks, Delgado. This was fun. Just the two of us. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Sook will be back tomorrow night. Kevin Downey Jr., Rick Delgado, and hopefully me. I might be a little late. We'll see. We'll see you then live from Studio 6B.